As a disclaimer, I do not support nor condone the harassment of the creator because of personal opinions on their creations. These reviews are created for the purpose of giving my opinions on these characters, along with giving constructive criticism to help the creator in the future. As such, the level of artistic ability is not included in my review, and only the design and story of the character. Thank you very much. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Zimzilla, back again once again, and today, people, I have got another review, and this is another request review, this one by Skull Ghidorah 2016. It is on his Kaiju OC, Elasmogiga, obviously based on the words Elasmo and Giga, plated giant. This is a creature from his little Kaijuverse known as the Elasmoverse. He asked me to review it. I also did some fan art, which you can see on my DeviantArt. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, to start off with the design, I overall love the design. I think it's quite streamlined. I think overall, if Godzilla didn't have his standard Godzilla look, and someone said, "Oh, this is Godzilla," I could see, yeah, it makes sense. He's a monster that comes from the ocean. He has the very standard ocean colors for predators, with the black over top, white underbelly, similar to sharks. And I think specifically, I think he was going for the inspiration with the Liopleurodon from Walking with Dinosaurs. And I must say, I really love it when people use those colors. I'm not really good with using the white and black Pleurodon coloration, with all the not spikes, the stripes and dots and all that, and where certain white is to black with that contrast. And I always admire it when people do it well, and I think he does it well here. Based on the design, similar to an Elasmosaurus or Plesiosaur for that matter, the head tapers off and it looks a little smaller in comparison to the body, and then the tail comes off in a nice big round fluke. Obviously, keeping with his name, he does have plating at the top of his head, which are kind of more spike-like, going down and becoming plates, with what appears to be some kind of energy, obviously thermal energy, as this creature has a thermal breath and a thermal pulse, obviously similar to the nuclear or atomic breath and nuclear pulse that Godzilla has. I'd say that where they're positioned for coloration, it's very good. It's similar to what I do with Zimzilla, where I have the sort of glowing energy around his neck and his body area, and I'd say the dots are positioned quite well as they're done. It goes one dot, nothing, dot, nothing, and then in between the spikes you can see some blue energy. And I'd say that's really good. I'd say their positioning is quite nice, and it does break up the black on that area of the body, and it looks pretty good, I do like that. He is 60 meters, so he's 10 meters taller than the Showa Godzilla, and he's quite a few meters taller than Ultraman, and he's 30,000 tons. I kind of am interested in what his length is. I just like that kind of thing. We do height and length and weight. I always geek out about that. But moving on to his backstory, this Elasmogiga was part of a mating group, I should say, that came to the Antarctic with his mate. His mate was badly wounded. Both of them went into hibernation under the ice. He woke up, his mate was dead, and the corpse was mummified, and he started wandering around the area after mourning his dead mate. Then he came across some humans, he heard the roar of an ancient enemy kaiju, and that's kind of where the story is right now. I'd say that's a pretty good setup. Not a lot of people want to make more of their main kaiju because they feel that's going to be the kaiju that's going to be their main guy, and you don't want them to die or appear weak as they're kind of the hero of the story. And I'd say that you can, right now where it's set up, when you go with it, you can either make them the big hero of the story where we follow them specifically, or you follow humans who follow him. So really, you've left yourself pretty open, and that's really good. I appreciate that. They landed in the Antarctic 36 million years ago, and that would be around the Eocene epoch in the Paleogene era. So during this time, he would be around animals such as Pristicampus, that's the crocodile that was in Primeval, the one that was standing up on its back legs, and also in terms of sea animals, Basilosaurus, which I think is really interesting because he also doesn't specify what species Elasmogiga is, which I'd say that's good because then people can assume themselves, you don't give away too much, and it leaves some kind of mystery where it's like there might not be something natural about this animal, because I have my whole issue with speculative evolution kaiju. I mean, you can make them evolve in a certain way, but the moment you can narrow them down to a science, like an actual science, they lose pretty much all of their ability to be kaiju, because at that moment you can kill them, they can be dead, and that is the end of your story. Making a kaiju fully scientific does not help you in your case. It's good to add some science and at least make science that makes sense. Don't go too overboard with it, and don't do too little of it, and because you may go into like the pseudoscience territory, which can be good sometimes, but most cases just really do your research. Keep certain things ambiguous if you really can't explain them too well, but other than that, I think it's good with what he did there. My overall thoughts is, right now he has laid a good groundwork for a good series of like pictures and, if you want to, books. His design is solid. He has a good characterization of his character. I would say that there's not much of it, so I can't really give it a good score because there's not enough of it. We already know his opinion about humans. He doesn't really care about humans, as shown in the little bio he has. And his abilities are pretty standard, but they're solid. It's very meta, very Saurian, Godzilla-esque, but I'd say if you want to start working on a kaiju, I'd say that, not the perfect, but this is bar none some top tier level, like, basic understanding where it's like, hey, I really like Godzilla, I want to make my own kaiju, this is my kaiju. It doesn't have Godzilla or Zilla in its name, but it's his own character, but he does draw a lot of inspiration from Godzilla, and that's that. I'd say things I think he does better than Godzilla, not like as in I want Godzilla to have these features, but I'd say like they're really cool, is that I do like the fact that he's more suited to an aquatic lifestyle with his fluke tail, and along with his hands are webbed. He does have claws, however his hands are indeed webbed, and his arms do appear to be a little bit bigger than his legs, so that would imply that he's more streamlined for swimming along the open ocean, especially because of his size. He could probably swim for many miles, so that's kind of nice. I don't know if he did that intentionally, based on like the Spinosaurus studies where we found Spinosaurus doesn't have as big legs as we thought, and because of that, kind of implementing the idea of creating Elasmogiga to be more streamlined within the water and being conscious of that. Or it might just be the art style. I don't mind, but I also love the art style. He did a drawing of my character Zimzilla. I'll link his DeviantArt so that you can see it, and oh man, I just love it. It's so good. But that's all, guys. On a scale of 1 to 10 based on scoring, his design is, of course, a 10. I could dock points and say it's a 9 because it's like pretty standard powers, but I'd say for being a person who's obviously inspired by Godzilla, I'd say he's got pretty good powers. Obviously, you're not saying nuclear blast, at least you're being a little original, saying thermal blast. I can dig that. Story, I cannot put a score on because obviously there's not much of the story, so we really don't know what else is going on. There are other kaiju within his universe based on his DeviantArt folder, but they haven't really been introduced in the story, so I cannot say like power scaling or anything like that. And in terms of characterization, I'd say for a kaiju that is an animal, not really a super sentient kaiju, as he does have a little bit of a thinking process, I'd stay standard 10. So I'd say overall, I gave it both 10s, but I wouldn't say the character is perfect. There may be flaws that I don't see, but I personally feel like it's a really good kaiju to start out with, and overall a perfect kaiju for a series. But that's all, guys. See ya.